Andrew Gaze. Not a great rest day for you yesterday in that regard, but plenty to look forward to here today.
It is. Really looking forward to this one. As you mentioned, important games for both teams, but in particular for Germany. After a slow start to the tournament, they want to bounce back, get some of their guys going.
A big win for Dominican Republic here 2 days ago, only their third in World Cup history. Just like Germany against France, they were dominated on the inside and relied on their three-point shooting, and that's going to be key for them to stand a chance of causing an upset today.
Absolutely, and the Dominican Republic, they went deep. All 12 players saw some time in the game the other night against Jordan, and I think that's because the energy they want to use. They're up the floor, they're trying to be disruptive, and that's what they have to be. They don't have the same level of talent as Germany, so we're going to have to see that again today, and obviously, when you're the underdog, you need to shoot the ball well, which they have the capacity to do, and I'm sure Germany understand that they need to behave themselves in order to get over the Dominican Republic.
A few of those shooters will need to catch fire, and they'll need to play that tenacious defense again here today. It is the biggest FIBA World Cup of all time, and we're already at a must-win moment for Germany, who arrive here with real aspirations of claiming a medal. No shame in losing to France, but their disappointment was palpable after the game on Sunday. A terrible first quarter that gave France too much of a head start in the end. They're still strong favourites for this one, but no room for error now.
No, in fact, it was a historically bad performance for Germany. Only 4 points in the first quarter, as obviously their lowest ever in World Cup. I don't have the full statistics of their basketball history, but I hazard a guess, possibly one of their worst quarters in the history of German basketball with the national team, and 1 of 17 from the field. And it's not just that individual quarter, it's the confidence and how nervous they look to start the game. Some shots you'd normally expect them to make were missing, and they'd be looking to gain some confidence, which they would have gained against France for the remainder of the game. When you dig yourself such a huge hole, and then at the end of the game only lose by 4, and in fact have a chance to maybe cause an upset and get back into it, there were still some positive signs for Germany.
And a German side that surprised a lot of people with their performance at the last Eurobasket, including France, who they knocked out of that competition. This is the first contest here in Shenzhen on game day 2. In around 4 hours' time, France will look to punch their ticket to the second round against Jordan. And Dominican Republic's 4-point win over Jordan on Sunday sees them up top with France in Group G. Germany's 4-point defeat to the French puts them outside the top 2, but they can fix that with a win here this afternoon in this one. For Jordan to stay alive, it would have to be one of the great all-time upsets to beat France this evening.
That's an understatement. And that still, when you qualify for this tournament, you're in with a chance, and looking forward to that one later on this evening.
Okay, let's pause for a few minutes now for the 2 national anthems.
Republic. 女士们、先生们，请全体起立，演奏双方运动队国歌。首先演奏多米尼加共和国国歌。And now, the national anthem of Germany. 下面演奏德国国歌。
might not be the box office battle of game day 1 for Germany, but it's even more important now. A must-win matchup against the Dominican Republic here in Group G at the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Myself, Tim Long, alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze, with you to call the action here in China. And he perhaps will need a big performance. Dennis Schroeder, who recovered from a tough start to finish with 23 points and 8 assists against France, as we see your officiating team for this first contest on court here in Shenzhen today. The Dominican Republic have a team packed full of veterans, 7 of the 12 players in their 30s, no fewer than 7 players who scored at least 9 points in game 1. Victor Liz led the way with 15. Vargas had 12 at centre, double digits for both Ronald Roberts and Ronald Ramon off the bench. Mendoza, Monteiro and Solano all had 9. The latter also had 7 assists.
They did, and the balanced scoring, because of the high energy they play, they rotate their players in and out to try and keep them fresh, because they understand that they've got to play the full length of the floor. They're picking up, extending it up, but it's that man, Ronald Roberts. I think he gave a great spark off the bench. He's a quality player. He's played in many countries throughout the world, and he'll know, the Germans will know him well, having played in the Bundesliga last year with Jena. So he's a quality player, and they're going to need a lot from him.
Germany have that exciting trio of NBA players in Schroeder, Tyson, Kleber. One of the big threats is the team's outside shooting. They started poorly against France before finishing 10 of 22 from downtown, and centre Johannes Fuchsmann knocking down 5 of those. He led the team with 25 points in that defeat. Schroeder had the 23 and 8 assists. Nobody else scored in double figures though, so they'll want more involved this evening.
Yeah, Fuchsmann was the shining light, particularly when it looked very bleak. He came out and knocked down those threes, 5 of 7 from the three-point line, but they actually shot better from the three-point line than they did inside the paint. Rudy Gobert was one of the main reasons for that, with that intimidation factor around the basket. But a different kettle of fish here tonight, and I think that they are going to have a big advantage inside as well.
Henrik Rudel, the head coach of Germany. Nestor Che Garcia, head coach of Dominican Republic. 2 teams desperate for the win on game day 2 of the 2019 FIBA World Cup in Shenzhen. The Dominican defense was dominated on the inside by Jordan in game 1, but they cancelled that out with their three-point shooting. 11 of 26 from downtown for 42%. They also had 10 extra field goal attempts in the game, committed 4 fewer turnovers, grabbed 3 extra offensive rebounds, and despite a size disadvantage, they came up with 12 offensive boards and survived having a 16-point lead overturned to scrape the win by 4. Germany suffered a nightmare start, as we've talked about, against France. They conceded the first 14 points of the game, failed to score at all for nearly 7.5 minutes, and went behind by as many as 24, but they fought back through their long-range shooting. 6 of 6 from downtown in a 30-point third quarter. They actually won the second half by 12 points, but they couldn't quite complete the comeback, losing by 4, and ultimately paid the price for that poor start and for shooting just 32% on the inside.
That's right, and this one here, Victor Liz, is a man that stepped up big time. Surprisingly, the Dominican Republic against Jordan had a nice 16-point lead, pushed it out, and then looked to get real nervous. So clearly there's some things going on in their head, and they understand that this is their chance. They win this one, and they get to uncharted waters, get a chance to make progress. And hard to see Germany doing as poorly as they did in the first half. 20 points in a half. When you look at the talent that's out on the floor, any test you want to put, it's hard to see how they can only score 20 in a half. 4 in a quarter. My glory-filled days.
No room for error for a young and exciting German team who arrived at this World Cup with genuine medal aspirations. It is do or die, make or break, must win for them. And on the other side of the coin, if they stay in the game, the Dominicans might just dare to dream of taking that second round place for themselves. And that's the start they wanted.
And almost a similar start to what we saw from Tice against France, coming up short. Really thinking about those shots, and not just, there was no fluency in his technique.
Here's Vargas, the centre, off the mark, offensive rebound again. We talked about that before the opening tip. Fired inside, Vargas, lovely pass from Liz.
Just a defensive breakdown. 4 on the defensive glass by Germany and then failed to recover. Easy one.
Here's Schroeder, just about reeled in, not put in though by Daniel Theis. So 2 misses early on for Germany. The crossover towards the basket, lovely dish as well for the Eloy Vargas throwdown. Some Dominican dynamite exploding on Germany's second round chances.
And they love to get out in the open floor, push it up, and a semi-transition, but still found a way to find some gaps in the defense and create an easy scoring opportunity. 2 easy scoring opportunities so far for the Dominican Republic.
Schroeder, so 3 misses inside the opening minute and a half for Germany. Is it all happening again? Encouragement for Dominican Republic. Rojas. Liz on the dribble drive towards the basket. Bounce pass into the lane. It's Vargas again. They're getting him going early. Finding him every time inside.
Just really poor defense by Germany. They're reactive. They're having no influence on the ball. And down the other end, we see the extraordinary good defense by the Dominican Republic. They're up and in and excited about this one. And why wouldn't you? What a start for the Dominican Republic.
Incredible start here. We talked about Germany conceding the first 14 points against France. We thought it couldn't possibly happen again. They've conceded the first 6 already against Dominican Republic. Liz hands it off on the perimeter to Solano. Prodding and probing. The man who had 7 assists in the first game cut down the baseline to Liz, and they are tearing Germany to shreds.
I actually think Rudel's got to think about a timeout. He's letting them play through it, 8-0 down, but this is very reminiscent of what we saw a couple of nights ago against France.
The only difference is Dominican Republic are doing it quicker. Theis to try and stop the rock, and does just what Germany needed.
That's right, Vargas down low. Theis with that athleticism. Dominican Republic may have to think about sending a double team based on what we saw in that exchange.
Is that a turnover? It is. No.
Came off Schroeder's calf.
German players and coach were pointing the other way. The official didn't agree.
Ayers with a nice block and down the other end. How's that by Vargas? Great start, and there's the slicing and dicing that's going on, and Vargas with the easy 2.
Vargas with the first 6 points in the ball game. Liz adding to it. Theis one back for Germany. Solano stepped to the side, 3-point shot wouldn't go down. And here comes Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder always seems to play at 100 miles per hour. Can he start to dictate the tempo here for Germany? He got bumped on the baseline and threw it against the top of the backboard.
And that's one of those things I spoke about the other night, where he is a bona fide superstar, arguably one of the best point guards in the competition. But there are moments where I think he tries to do too much. He's got to have faith in his team to get through some system, move the ball, then get the ball back after it's had gone side to side, and those plays become a whole lot easier.
Liz, lovely footwork from the foul line, puts it up and puts it in. He's got 4 points and the lead is back to 8.
And it's not the fact that they got the 8-point lead, it's the ease of which they're creating shots, the Dominican Republic. This defense by Germany has no starch in it whatsoever.
Dominican Republic 5 of 7 from the field as a team. Zipser inside, looking to force it in. Missed it, can Vargas grab it? No, Theis there ahead of him, and he puts it in for his second score.
Couple of points now, 4 points now for Theis. That'll do his confidence the world of good, and there's just a sloppy miscommunication. Time it was just not on the same page. Solano trying to make the advance pass. There was no one there.
Henrik Rudel was so disappointed in the press conference, wasn't he, after the game against France on Sunday? And he doesn't look any happier yet.
He wasn't he? He was fighting to try and find some positive things, which there were. As we see legs getting tangled up. Off the ball foul. Let's have a look. Just tangle at the feet. Rojas, I think it was.
Yeah, you won't see it on that picture.
No.
Plenty of contact from Dominican Republic, who will need to be tight and tenacious throughout, and they have been so far. Zipser. Schroeder. On to Tice, who started well, got all 4 of Germany's points, looking to attack again in a foul.
Well, they've found the matchup they like, and they're going to keep going to it. Tice has got those 4 points, and even prior to that, he missed a couple that he'd normally make. So clearly this is not by coincidence or accident. They see Vargas out there and say, well, let's try and exploit him.
Akpinar back out to the perimeter, gets it back off the handoff here, fires in once more towards the paint, this time swatted away from Tice. And here come Dominican Republic looking to run, gun, stun, and have some fun. They'll go to the line for 2.
Well, they're having fun on that one. I love the balance that the Dominican Republic have. Whenever there's an interception or a deflection, we see them out in the open court where they can be explosive. But when it's that slower transition, the man movement, it gets the players moving all over the place, and a lot of cutting action, and that becomes labour intensive to defend. And so far early in this one, Germany hasn't demonstrated the commitment and dedication to chase those guys. Nestor Garcia, coach of the Dominican Republic, really done a great job of finding that balance on the offensive end.
Galvez Solano misses the first. And in fact, both of them, that one by a long way, but the rebound grabbed underneath. Rojas back out. This will hold it.
That's just a lack of urgency and discipline by... Now they're giving up offensive rebounds off a free throw.
Rojas with the open 3 from the corner as well. Wouldn't go down after the lovely pass from Liz again. Schroeder looking to burst to the basket once more. Forced backwards. They'll have to slow it down here into Tice. He gets free to attack the rim one more time.
They are just milking this matchup. Again, it's Tice. Stuffs it in with the 2 hands. You saw Vargas just trying to front it that time. They need to make some decisions on whether they're going to continue with that matchup.
Here's Vargas on the perimeter for Dominican Republic. Puts it on the floor, goes back for the long-range 3. Rojas trying to bat it back, but can only hit it out of bounds.
If you're going to stay with that, if Dominican Republic are going to stay with that matchup, that they're going to have to think about. See, they're going to him every time, and Vargas's foot speed is not quite there. At least he tried something different that time, tried to deny and get in front, because down low, Tice has clearly shown that he's got an advantage. He's already taken... Team's had 9 shots, he's had 6 of them, 3 of 6 from the field.
Aside from Eloy Vargas, they don't really have options, sizable options at centre. Here's Schroeder to the corner, 3-point shot. Akpinar will go, and Germany back within 1 from 8 down. Rojas. Well, this is why El Dueri got his 34 points. Little in the way of interior defense from Dominican Republic. Certainly plenty in the way of offense, though, from them. Oh, Baez. Oh, he moved it on to Vargas, who's greeted mid-air by Tice, and it fell.
Baez there, give him the credit. He made it happen. Hint of a little travel before he put the ball on the floor. But there you see the help coming in the beautiful dish-off pass. And sometimes your best defense is your offense. You say, well, if I can't get it done down the other floor, I need to make Tice play me down this end of the floor. And that time it comes just through a very, very nice pass by Baez.
And that is exactly what is happening. Eloy Vargas has now got 8 points. A chance to add 1 more from the foul line, despite being dominated on the defensive end by Tice. Another missed foul shot. By some distance again.
It was, wasn't it? It wasn't just an easy miss. They're 0-3.
Tice out towards this near side. Modo low. Low so quick on the crossover and got fouled by Vargas.
Wow. See the switch. Vargas coming out. I thought he did a good job just to contest that shot. He's not happy with the call, as you can see. Maybe it's just that protective area, the little bit of contact down low. Looked pretty clean up top with the hands.
It's such a cheap foul for the big man to give away because it's his second, and he is the only real big body that they have.
Well, it does bring in Roland Roberts, who had a very good game the other night, and he has that speed and flexibility that perhaps he can stay with Tice a little bit better. So they do have a they're almost at the point where they had to look and try something different anyway, and now it's been forced upon Coach Garcia with those fouls.
Ronald Roberts is the second tallest player on the Dominican roster, 2 meters 3, 6'8".
We've had 5 free throws in the game, combined between the two teams so far. We're 0 of 5. You don't see that too often. Perhaps another sign of perhaps the nerves that both these teams have, knowing how important it is.
It's a huge matchup. Germany need to win to remain in the competition. Baez, Rojas, Dominican Republic would dream of a place in the second round, especially coming in here into a group that has France and Germany. And that's where they'll be if they get the win in this one. They're up by 2, but they turn it over. Schroeder going through the gears, getting bumped, and he puts it in. A moment of Schroeder sorcery.
That is, and that's very hard to guard because Schroeder down the other end. We see him with the penetration. See how, look at the little step. So he knows if he goes up being so small, the defense has a chance to block it, but he just gets in front and uses his body to primarily to try and protect the ball. But of course, put the defense in a very vulnerable spot and goes to the line to shoot a couple. Real smart play by Schroeder.
I mentioned he had that tough start against France. He finished 7 of 19 from the field for his 23 points. Germany have the lead now from 8 down. Ramon stops and pops for the long 2, misses. And the tide has turned.
Wide open shot though, again, just a missed shot. Not really too much credit to the defense.
Here goes Tice once more. Another score for Daniel Tice, who's dominating down low.
Is he ever? And he needed to. He had a subpar game against France as well. He had plenty of mates, but he'd be happy to see himself get going.
There goes Mendoza, and a foul. Well, both centres, both starting centres, have 8 points in the game now to lead their respective teams. But of course, Vargas has had to go to the bench on 2 fouls, and Tice now will sub out for some rest. They want to get it in. Mendoza. Ronald Ramon looking to use the frame of Roberts on the perimeter. Shot clock down to the final 3 seconds here. And the floater won't go, but a big offensive rebound from Roberts.
He was way above. Again, another little breakdown. Good effort by Roberts to get after it.
A whistle on the play with Lowe handling the ball.
Ramon, I think. Foul was called on.
It's going to be foul shots for Germany. Dominican Republic at the limit for the quarter already.
Well, they do test the limits of the refs because of the style of play which they need to play. Coach Garcia understands that if this is just going to become an athletic contest and we go up and down in a passive game, that's not going to be his advantage because talent will prevail. But he's really trying to get up and in, be as disruptive as he possibly can, and through that has committed a number of fouls.
It's 4 points already for Schroeder, which is as many as Germany had as a team in the whole of the first quarter against France. Now he's got more than that. They've sorted out their free throw shooting. Germany by 3. Rojas. Mendoza. And starts from deep here with the movement inside coming then from Roberts and a whistle.
Falkman gets the foot violation, but it's one of those ones that Dominican probably didn't really want it because it was going to be a really good scoring opportunity down low.
Rojas goes to the bench. Solano to inbound. Mendoza. Monteiro. Solano Shot clock winding down again. He finds Roberts inside, surrounded though, kicks it back out to the open man, and Mendoza misses the shot. Made one of his 2 3-pointers in the first game. Here's Fuchman. What a performance it was from him. 25 points against France. 8 of 10 from the field, 5 of 7 from downtown, the big man. Here's Benzing, the captain, to put one up from deep. And the rebound grabbed by Garcia.
Ugly possession by Germany.
Ugly defense as well, wide open in the corner. Mendoza misses another. There's another offensive rebound though. Mendoza inside this time. Can't get it that way.
They've had their chances, Dominican Republic. Just being able to execute and get where they want to be on the offensive end.
Schroeder leaving the defense for dead.
Talk about getting where you want to be on the offensive end. Schroeder with a little Euro step. Fakes one way, steps the other, and made a relatively tough play look very, very simple.
7 points for Dennis Schroeder now in the first quarter. So Lano bursting through a gap, pretty finish as well.
If Germany have any ambitions to go deep into this tournament, they are going to have to make a marked improvement of what we're seeing so far on the defensive end.
Here's Lowe. Lowe will go all the way through and score.
Dominican Republic will hold this one for the last shot of the quarter.
Shot clock turned off at the end of the first. Dominican Republic trailing by 5. Ball in the hands of Solano, the most creative player. Might look to do it all himself. Kicks it back out. There's the pump fake. And a whistle.
Good foul. Stop the shot. Now they're reduced to only 5.5 seconds to get one off. Take Schroeder out. They've got another one to give, so try and eat probably another 2 or 3 seconds off this shot clock, off the game clock, and make them do it all again.
Mendoza gets it in. Will they foul? They might even steal. Very nearly a backcourt violation as well. They have to heave it up from way outside. And that's better defensively for Germany to finish the first. They lead by 5 at the end of 1, having come from 8 down. Another torrid start, but they've recovered early this time. Germany 21, Dominican Republic 16.
Erstes Setplay, 4 unten, die Beine unten. Bring die Ball über den Counter zu ihm runter. Und spiel. Mach tolle Bewegung.
Si no, los pibes están tirando bandeja. Parece que están pensando en entrar en calor. Y si no, if you call post, put far from basket y pasar rápido por atrás. Tiene repeat switch, pero vamos a contener.
There you heard it, and my Spanish is non-existent, but the little that I could understand, Coach Garcia focusing on the defensive end, trying to figure out what's going on, and both teams have shot the ball well. 53% for Germany and 44% for the Dominican Republic, and I think both coaches at this quarter time would be focusing on more what's going on the defensive end than what is happening on the offensive end, because as you can see here, some of the quality of shots by both these teams has been really, really high. The ease in which they've been able to get inside the paint, and that man in particular, Tice, they went to him early on and he took advantage of it with his 8 points in the quarter.
And we talked about the three-point shooting of Dominican Republic coming in, that they'd need to hit some. They're 0 of 6 from downtown, so all of that good shooting is coming on the inside. But they've had open looks from 3 and not taken them. They were 42% in game 1.
And that can happen as well. It's a long game ahead, and that app. I tell you what, folks, do yourself a favour, jump on the phone, whether it's Apple or the Android, and download the app and consider all information required from the World Cup right there in the one app.
Here we go, start of the second quarter. Germany by 5, 21-16. Dominican Republic start with the ball. Monteiro, who had a brief stint or 2 in the NBA. Luis Monteiro puts it up from range. Wow. 0 of 7 now from long range. Low. So quick down the floor, looking to go coast to coast, but he lost it. And it was tipped beyond the baseline off a Dominican player.
There was a hint of that coming off Lowe's thigh as it was slapped out of his hands.
It has been given in Germany's favour, and Maodo Lowe will inbound from the baseline.
Montero just copped an absolute spray from Coach Garcia. I don't think he was too happy with the shot selection that time, that previous possession.
Benzing missing from the outside for Germany. And trying to make it a one-possession game again, Dominican Republic. Rojas, fake to go one way, went inside, floated to the far side. Three-point shot Garcia this time, and the poor shooting from long range continues.
And it's going to be a critical factor. If they're going to get this upset win, they've got to make shots and knock down those three ball.
11 of 26 from downtown against Jordan. They're 0 of 8 here. Germany looking to make them pay for it. Twisting and turning in the paint, and scoring was Danilo Bartel. Rojas. Ronald Roberts, bounce pass to Solano, bounce pass back to Roberts, and a foul.
Good execution again, get it to Roberts, and good penetration. Oh, it's still very early in this contest. You just get that sense that this next 3 or 4 minutes is going to be critical for the Dominican Republic. That the style of play that they have, trying to move the man, move the ball, you get down by 10 or 12. It's the road ahead looks a long way. But so just need to hang in there, keep this tight, keep Germany having to think about their shots. It's a lot easier to take a three ball or make a move on the rim when you're 12 up as opposed to being 2 or 3 up when the game's very much in the balance.
And if Coach Garcia's team can keep it close heading into the second half, we might see those German nerves again, knowing that Germany have to win.
And let's be honest, the Dominican Republic, they're not going to blow Germany out. So they got to keep this game as close as they can to the last 5 minutes and have things go their way down the stretch.
And to think they're only down by 5, having missed all 8 of their three-point attempts. Here's Bartel again. Man who played in the EuroLeague with Bayern Munich last season. Now Giffey, pirouette in the paint, puts it up and puts it in.
And you can see that there's been a real determination to get to the rim on this one as well. Germany only taken 4 three-point field goal attempts of their 18.
It's as if they're trying to make up for lost 2-pointers after what happened against France. Oh, thrown away, turned over into the hands of Futman. Futman with a long pass, just about able to reel it in. Down the floor was Benzing, three-point shot Giffey. Rebound Baez. Germany shot at just 32% against France on the inside in game 1. And 64% here, double. There's another miss from range.
I like the play though. Liz need to get him involved, get him going as well. But look at the penetration. Low with a nice little cross step, little skip-diddy-do, and he gets to the rim. Have a look at this. Just beautiful reading of the play, reading of the man for the easy 2.
And that score for Germany will force Dominican Republic to call the timeout. They've gone down by 9 points. We talked about needing to keep it close. It is in danger of getting away from the Dominicans.
Good timeout by Garcia. Things, momentum, you just see it, not making shots down the other end, just need to settle down. And we spoke about having to talk about defense. Right now, Garcia's problem is about trying to find a way to put some points on the board. Coach
He likes
Gus,
to take his time, doesn't he?
it's good. You look at that and think, you just see the wheels ticking in his head. He's thinking, well, I need to get a basket. What play do I run? And probably more importantly, who do I want to go to on this next play? Who is going to be the one that we're designing up a play for? There will always be 2 or 3 options in any of the sets that you run, but the destination, I suspect, is going to be less and get him going either to the rim, and it's not just him scoring, but the penetration and dish was what was working early on in the game.
Things have stopped working for them since Vargas went out with those 2 fouls as well. Just 2 points so far here in the second quarter for Dominican Republic. Solano looking for Roberts, but can't find him. Instead, it's Liz on the cut to the basket, uses his body really well.
Great cut by Liz. Everyone's standing around. His defender caught watching, and he just slipped behind him. And good find as well. Great pass. I think it was Solano with the assist.
So 7 points the deficit, 7 minutes to play in the first half. Lowe looking to show his speed again on another burst to the basket, scores once more. And Maodo giving the Dominicans the lowdown.
I like it. I like where you're going. 3 of 3 so far with Lowe. Look at this down the other, another easy basket. So that'll give the Dominican Republic a bit of heart, but Lowe has been very productive. That's just sloppy play. They're the sort of turnovers that, okay, in the context of this game and who you're up against, maybe it doesn't, the impact is far less than when you're playing against the next level. When you think of the second and third round, they're the sort of plays you cannot afford to have.
You could still come back and haunt them here in this one. They might not get to the second round if they continue with those plays. Roberts hands it off to Solano. And it goes to Ayulis Baez, the 37-year-old. Played with Gran Canaria in the EuroLeague last season. And they try and squeeze it down the baseline. It was tipped out of bounds by Germany. Only 2.1 seconds remaining on the shot clock here for Dominican Republic. Elvis Solano will look to get the ball in. They need a shot straight away. It's Baez who takes it, the 3, and there was a foul. Montero hitting the deck under the challenge of Bartle.
Comes out. Yeah, you're right, Bartle. Not a lot in that. Just bodies flying around.
First foul on Bartle. So Solano goes again, but the shot clock reset to 14 now after the foul. Roberts hands it off to Solano. Drive and look to take the ring road around the defense, creates the open shot on the perimeter, and they miss again, would you believe?
Wide open, deep 3, but wide open, and just can't get it to fall from the 3-point line.
0 of 9 now. Lowe back out. Fukman, who hit 5 3-pointers in the game against France, didn't take one on then. Lovely pass down the floor to Liz, who receives it in the end zone and scores.
Great pass, lead pass, Liz. Just taking the gamble a little bit. You saw him get out early, he just knew that it was going to come his way, and Liz, not only does he put it in, gets the foul, goes to the line for the N1. And when you're struggling to get that scoreboard ticking over, they're the sort of plays that become so valuable.
How impressive is the passing of Solano been? He had 7 assists against Jordan. He's got 6 here in the first half.
And that was a beautiful touch pass. Great vision. Pass first type guard at the best of times, but his skills on display in that department so far in this one.
And Liz completes the 3-point play to reduce what had been a 9-point deficit down to 4. It was the second foul on Niels Giffey. Schroeder looking to find a gap. Draws the attention of the defense like moths to a flame, but Fukman can't make it count from the perimeter. He was 5 of 7 from the outside against France. Solano into the lane, looking to find Roberts inside. He's fouled and put it in. A chance at back-to-back three-point plays.
They run a lot of misdirections, a lot of cuts, but this has really been their best option so far in this one here. Anytime they've been able to put the ball to the deck and get their both feet inside the paint, the help comes. And Solano in particular has been able to find the open man, and Roberts with the strong play goes up, and you can see why the Dominican Republic fans are up and about. They're liking what they see, and they've cut this 9-point deficit now down to 2.
It was a real game of runs between Germany and France on this floor on Sunday. We've had a first half of runs already here. Germany down by 8, then turned it into a 9-point lead, and now Dominican Republic are hot on their heels again. Schroeder. Fukman will try to fire the risky pass in towards Tice, gets away with it. Schroeder around the frame of Fukman, who rolls inside, but did he tip it in time?
They're not even going to check it. Score counts.
Let's have a look here. Oh, he did, just squeezed it in. Germany by 3, first score for Fukman. Baez, are they finally going to hit one from the outside? Cross-court pass. Solano down the baseline. And Baez inside. Lovely play from Solano again. Would you believe it? 7 assists in the first half.
Someone's got to, from Germany's got to do a better job keeping Solano in front of him, make him shoot a 3. Every time he gets into the paint, he's finding the open man. Again, the closeout by the big man, just got to know your limitations, Zipser. Come out there, just close out with a hand up, make him shoot over a hand, and down the other end, Schroeder with another, just a beautiful pass, right on the money. He is world class as far as throwing those alley-oop passes.
Wonderful slow motion replays we're seeing here at the World Cup as well. Wonderful crossover from Akpinar. Wouldn't go down though. Zipser will try. Second bite to the cherry. No. Dominican Republic a chance to get ahead here with 4 minutes of the first half to play. Solano looking to orchestrate the offense again. Back out Baez. Bumps against Zipser. Liz on the move as always. Baez hard. Oh, and a foul called against Germany.
Looking forward to see this one. To me, it just looked like Baez just ran him over. And it was Zipser down the blow. There it is here. He's in that position. The arm extends. Now, I have no idea. That's either a no call or it's a charge. I'm not sure what you expect the defense to do. Henrik Rudel, I think, agrees with me. Defense is in a sound position, moves his feet, and somehow or other, they come up with a block.
And Baez gets to the line to try and give Dominican Republic the lead.
And as a coach, that is really tough. When you've got your guy, in this case it was Zipser, in what you think is a sound fundamental position, and you go, well, how do you avoid that?
They're ahead from 9 down. Baez with more points already than he had against Jordan in game 1. He's got 3.5. Schroeder to the foul line, tried to throw the high pass to Tice, and with springs in his sneakers, Ronald Roberts got up there.
That's one where he just got ahead of him, and the shot was going to be a lot easier than the
pass. No look pass this time for the baseline cut, but Monteiro couldn't handle it. And how about that? Solano getting back after turning the ball over. He's full of energy. He is the young man on this roster of veterans, the youngest player at the age of 25, Solano. Liz back out to the perimeter, 3-point shot, still won't go from the outside. Dominican Republic leading, but they're 0 of 10 from 3. Schroeder wide open for 3, he misses as well, and it ricochets into the hands of Roberts.
Wow, and both these teams, the last couple of minutes, looked extraordinarily tired. Not that explosiveness from offense to defense by either team. Another missed shot, another missed 3-ball.
It's kind of flown under the radar, but Germany are only 1 of 7 from downtown. That wouldn't go for Zipser. Instead, he'll have to earn them both from the line.
Schroeder not happy, he missed out on his assist. But this sometimes you can be too unselfish. That's a layup. You just got to make that. The layup was a lot tougher than making that pass and trying to finish. He's wide open, just had protection on that right side of the rim. And Zipster there just under more pressure made it a contested shot, whereas Schroeder really had the uncontested layup.
Zipser will be playing in the EuroLeague with Bayern Munich this coming season after a short spell in Spain and 2 years in the NBA with Chicago. Ties the score up. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half, and it is tight and tense, particularly for Germany.
The one I really think we need to see more of from Germany's standpoint is Kleber. In the first couple of games, he hasn't really done a lot. And when you get those moments, that's where as a coach, you've got to find a way to get your guy going. Maybe get him some post action, get him a few more touches on the offensive end, find a way to get himself going.
Mendoza. Rojas. Bit of space inside as they shifted on again, and out of nowhere comes Kleber. Just what you were saying. He had 4 blocks against France, Maxi Kleber. And he's in the game and in with a bang.
It is, and that's great rim protection. Roberts here looked seemingly ready to make the layup, but down the other end, yes. That was one that on that angle looked like there might have been a little slide, and Rojas lucky to pick that one up.
Germany not able to take advantage of Kleber's big defensive rejection. Almost had his pocket pick, Victor Liz, but recovers. Coming out is Roberts to the perimeter. Liz with a nice footwork finds Roberts just about. Shot clock winding down. The hook shot from him is wide. Schroeder looking to work with Tice on the perimeter. Schroeder bursting into a gap and finishing with all kinds of contact from Rojas.
Well, we're talking about Solano down the other end, trying to keep him out of the paint. The challenge is even more difficult, and that's too hard. When he's got a screen, your big has got to be able to show. But down the other end, that was, we saw a little earlier, Kleber with the rejection. Somehow or other, you've got to find a way to the bigs to offer some help on Schroeder and get some third-man rotation on the roller. But that's way too early. If Schroeder can get it in that deep, he's so good at using his body, or we've seen finding the extra pass, that becomes tough.
He was the first German to make 20+ points and at least 8 assists at a World Cup since 1994 in Game 1 against France. He's got 10 points and 5 assists in the first half here. Germany by 4. A timeout called by coach Nestor Garcia with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half.
It's been an interesting game of runs. We've seen both teams have some times where they've got an advantage. across all the checks and balances, Garcia, I think, would be very happy with where his team's placed. It would only be 4 points down, and this man, Dennis Schroeder, doing his thing on the offensive end. And as I repeat, that their objective is just staying in touch, keep it in that really small margins either way, and try and shorten the game to the last 4 or 5 minutes and get hot and maybe even get a little lucky always helps.
Making a three-pointer would help.
Correct.
0 of 10 from three-point range, Dominican Republic, but only down by 4. Here's Roberts to flip one across to Liz. Took his time coming down, then couldn't get back up. Off the window it goes for Monteiro over the top of Tice.
Pretty sure that's not how Garcia scripted it up, but still very effective.
Monteiro, who played in the NBA, 18 games with Portland 4 seasons ago, 2 games with Detroit a couple of seasons ago. What a pass that is towards Tice. Had to adjust, though, to try and get on the end of it. That allowed the defense to get back.
Schroeder upset again, and I don't blame him on this one. That was one where Tice was going to be wide open. It's a set play, and he just wasn't looking. Fortunately, Tice at the last moment put his head up, and that should have been a dunk. Beautiful pass, right on the money.
Schroeder to inbound instead of getting that assist. Tice hands it back off to Schroeder. He'll try and do it all himself this time, and he does.
That's an area of the game that's improving. When he first came into the NBA, a lot of people going under screens, but in the last season and a half, he's still not where he needs to be, but he's significantly better, around about the 34% on the season from the three-point line.
Three-pointer for Dominican Republic, and they get one, and they do it via the backboard. Their first on their 11th attempt.
Can absolutely guarantee that he didn't call that. Just a lucky break.
And a turnover, but a travel.
Unlucky. Mendoza there just saw Liz leaking out to his left and didn't realise that Lowe was in the lane, and just that extra step before he put the ball to the floor.
That three-pointer for Liz takes him to 12 points in the half. Dominican Republic back within 2. A 13-second differential between shot and game clock. Schroeder. Kleber setting the high screen. Schroeder clings onto it into the final few seconds of the shot clock. Schroeder is going to heave one. And an offensive rebound, Akpinar. And the shot clock turned off. Schroeder spins on the perimeter. We're going to go one-on-one maybe here. The crossovers into Tice, guarded by Roberts. Turnaround, fade away. Wouldn't fall at the buzzer. And that will do it for a fascinating first half of runs. Dominican Republic were up by 8, Germany were up by 9, but it's only a 2-point edge at the half. Germany 39, Dominican Republic 37.
And just a little bit of argy-bargy too, as they're walking off there. Monteiro and Tice getting into each other, and a bit of jaw-jacking going on. And look at the 2-point field goal percentage of both teams, pretty solid. Free throw percentages, well, there's always room for improvement there. And the assist, the Dominican Republic, and that's Solano getting into the paint, drawing the help and having to dish it out. But Dominican Republic, they would go into this half feeling really good about where they're at. Liz has been very good. Vargas early on. Schroeder has been spectacular at the other end for Germany. And Tice, they went to him with that match up with Vargas early on, and they exploited that and found a weapon that they could go to. So right now, Coach Garcia with the Dominican Republic would be delighted to only be 2 points down. The game and the pace of the game is on his terms. If he could just find a way to get his fellas to knock down the 3-ball. Now that's got very little to do with coaching, because when you see some of the 3-point field goal attempts they've had, they've been wide open, but just haven't been able to make the most of it.
They missed their first 10 3-pointers before finally making that one off the backboard through Victor Liz. In the first game against Jordan, they had 7 different players who knocked down threes. And to start this game, they had 6 different players who missed them before they finally hit one.
Well, that's right.
Got going, though, now.
And as to be expected, the rebounding count has been in the favour of Germany as well, 19 to 15. And it's not just the rebound, it's the offensive rebounds as well. A couple of them, although they're split both ways, both teams taking advantage of getting on the glass. So it's an area where you can see the coaches would be looking at that, saying, well, here, if we can tidy up some work in that area that is another way in which we can get an advantage. Lowe has taken a leaf out of Schroeder's book, and he's between the two of them, their ability to get their feet in the paint, either for the shot or the extra pass. And there's a little bit of feeling we saw between the two. And fortunately, nothing too untoward. Solano with the beautiful full court pass. Liz finishing it off and just gets Giffey, sees him there, out of position. Not only does he get the two, goes to the line for the three-point play.
7 assists in the first half for Galvez Solano of Dominican Republic, 5 in the first half for Dennis Schroeder, who leads Germany with 13 points as well. 12 points for Victor Liz for Dominican Republic. 8 points for Eloy Vargas, who started so well. 4 of 5 from the field, then picked up that second foul and had to go to the bench. He didn't return, but now, of course, in the second half he will.
Absolutely, and he's an important part of it at both ends of the floor. Although with Vargas, he was getting exposed a little bit on the defensive end, he's one of those guys around the basket. He can intimidate shots, and with the guys getting in the paint, just to see a bigger body around the rim also has an influence. But those types of play there, you see Roberts left his teammate out on an island. The on-ball screen there, and you've got to provide a bit more help. That time it was Rojas, and really didn't have much chance. You can't allow Schroeder to get that deep. You've got to meet him around that three-point line in order to slow it down, to give Rojas, on that occasion, Rojas the chance to get back in front.
A high-scoring half, considering the two teams are 3 of 20 from three-point range combined. Germany lead Dominican Republic by 2, 39-37. Do join us for the second half in just a few minutes' time.
Thank you so much, cheerleaders of FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019。非常感谢燕京啤酒的篮球宝贝。
I'm so excited. A special competition I've been working called Resilience Training is fun to do. It is the original story of 5 young basketball, one enlightened coach, and the awesome transformative power of the game of basketball.
是2比3，好，你们进攻呢是6比13，还有两边都有12次的失误球，他们德国队的这边7次，多米尼加队这边是5次。好，那么进攻篮板上呢，两边持平各有4次。好，篮板球呢上半时，德国队一共抢到了19次，多米尼加队呢抢到15次。好，同时呢有 3次和4次的抢断球。好，那么在助攻这方面，德国队是有6次，斯洛文尼亚队13次，还有1次，还有2次的空盖球。好，在3次球方面呢，德国队得到22分，斯洛文尼亚队得到9分。OK， 再次感谢。
我们也要动起来，热身一下。
Uzo again throws it away. And now Uzo looking to go coast to coast. Big rejection from Nicholas Brasino.
Not in this house. I mean, that's just great hustle. Brasino, good behind the back.
Nice pass. Oriola with the throwdown.
Great pass, look away, paused everybody with it, and Oriola going to a spot where he would be open.
Fourth quarter underway, and
Steal.
good defense by Sun, and it leads to the opportunity by Ty.
Chase down block by Panitka.
Here's De La Valle and Tessitore.
Oh, look at that. Back. Oh, Brooks just cleans it up with the putback. Dean, I've got to tell you, that is the play of the game. Well, we got time and space now.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Up and away. Throws it down.
And Mitsic, what a pass, what a steal.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
Welcome back to the Shenzhen Bay Sports Center here in Shenzhen, China. Germany leading Dominican Republic, albeit by just 2 points at the half, 39-37. It is a game that they have to win to remain in the competition, Germany. And they have lost 7 of their last 8 World Cup games against teams from the Americas. Their only win against Panama back in 2006, but they have never lost their first 2 games at this stage of a competition.
And of all the stats that we get dished up, that's the one that surprised me the most. When you think of Germany, and they've had some different periods throughout their basketball development, but you would have thought that they would have had a greater success rate than that. But they would be feeling really nervous about this one. Only 2 points up at half time, and they've had some good moments, but they'd also be aware to say, well, hang on a minute, if the Dominican Republic had have just been able to knock down some of those 3 balls, we might have had some problems. So they've got some problems to solve on the defensive end. 39 points in a half is not too bad, particularly when you're shooting it at 48% from the field. But no, they don't have to worry beads out ever so slightly and just concerned about what's going on.
Very much one of the top European powers, Germany. They won gold at Eurobasket on home soil in 1993, silver in 2005. This is their 6th appearance at the World Cup. They won bronze in 2002. Dirk Nowitzki was named tournament MVP in that competition. He's been watching them here in Shenzhen, and he was also MVP at Eurobasket 2005 as well. Dennis Schroeder is the new superstar, and he's had 13 points, 5 assists in this game so far, but Dominican Republic have come right back at Germany at each and every turn, despite trailing by 9 points. They're only down by 2 behind the 12 points and 4 assists of Victor Liz, 8 points from the centre Eloy Vargas, and they've also had 7 assists from Galvis Solano, and Germany really have their work cut out for them.
My word, they do, and anything can happen. We've seen it already. You can't read too much into the form, and although Germany would go into this one as the unbackable favourites, we even saw earlier on today when Australia are playing Senegal. Senegal lose to Lithuania by 55, and you think, well, how many is Australia going to do them by? And at half-time, there's a basket in it. So anything. Now, Australia went on to win that one over Senegal, 81-68, but nevertheless, anything can happen. And that man on your screen, Victor Liz, he's been terrific. He's up and down, he can get to the rim. He's made that three-point field goal, albeit off the bank. But he's going to have a big one in order for the Dominican Republic to get over the line and cause the upset. Dennis Schroeder, he's another 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers, a little glitch in the whole equation. But even with that, you see a couple of the options that he's seen where he's dished out some very nice passes and probably would have a few extra assists if his teammates have been able to put them in. But as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, arguably the best point guard in the competition. And for the first time in certainly a long, long time, we have arguably the best player and best point guard not in the red, white and blue for the USA.
Dennis Schroeder did, of course, play in the USA last season. 15.5 points, 4.1 assists per game in the NBA with the Oklahoma Thunder.
Seite, zweite. Zum Ball, dann hier, komm vor den Ball, Maxi, hinten im Rücken hoch, Frontseite. Ja? Okay?
Henrik Rudel really disappointed with the start Germany made against France. They'll have been disappointed with the start they made to this one as well. After conceding the first 14 points against France, they conceded the first 8 points against the Dominican Republic, but they recovered to turn that into a 9-point lead. A 9-point lead, though, that has since nearly evaporated. And we saw nerves at the start of both games from them, seemingly nerves. There'll certainly be nerves in the second half because they have to win.
It is. It's all or nothing. It's win or go home. When I say go home, I don't mean literally go home. I mean that they then go down into the classification games and makes their quest of doing well here and also qualifying for the Olympics. Let's not forget this World Cup is about qualifying for the Olympics as well.
And the qualification rounds are not where they want to be. They want to be on the podium. And they start the second half, Germany up by 2, 39-37, ball in the hands of Schroeder. And he turns it over straight away, his 4th turnover of the game. 2-on-1 down the floor, defense getting back for Germany in a turnover.
Not sure.
Kleber was flying in.
Yeah, they said it was a deflection, so the ball is going to stay
off the left hand of Kleber
with the Dominican Republic. And you said it in the first half, Kleber is the one for mine. Really has been, so far in a game and a half, has really been non-existent, yet to take a shot in this one.
Lovely pirouette in the paint from Liz, but he can't get the shot to fall over the top of Tice. Schroeder crosses over, shoots from the elbow. Off the hop, will it go? No. Vargas back in the game after those 2 early fouls and grabs the rebound. Tice went to the bench for a rest for Germany when Vargas was out, and they're both back in now, the 2 big centres.
Henrik Rudel just up and about and talking to Dennis Schroeder. We saw before they came out on the court, he drew up a play, and 2 possessions, they haven't executed what I saw on the whiteboard.
Liz hands it off on the perimeter to Solano. Looking for the big man Vargas to float it over the top of Kleber, but he can't get his angles right. Schroeder. Tice locked and loaded on the perimeter this time. batted back by Kleber, but only into the hands of Liz. Now a 3-on-2. He goes to the right to Baez. Germany get back in transition.
Sloppy. Baez did a great job with the body control. Big fella on full flight, pulled up, avoided the charge, kicked it out, and just a Liz, I think it was, losing the handle.
Only the 6th turnover from Dominican Republic. Tice. And Schroeder up against Baez, the veteran of Dominican Republic, and Schroeder, the youngster of Germany, bursting to the basket but couldn't finish.
Jeez, real cold start by both these teams, and maybe put that down in nerves again. Neither team yet to register on the scoreboard.
Schroeder 4 of 10 from the field now. Baez. Solano. Rojas on to Vargas. Vargas looking to go to work down low, spins away from Tyson, scores again. Back in the game after that foul trouble and making an impact up to double digits.
Great move that time by Vargas. He went to the middle, nice drop step, and real good soft hands to put that one in.
Zipser. Back out, Tice, same spot, same outcome. 2 misses from downtown for the centre, who was doing all of his good work on the inside in the first half.
Still a long way to go, but you've got to start to question the shot selection. Tice was open, and after we saw the first one, we understand why he might have been open. And again, that one barely skimming the rim. There's certain moments in game and you say, well, in isolation, that's not a bad shot, but in the context of the game, scores are level, struggling to put points on the board, that's a bad shot.
The 3-point numbers are alarming. Here goes Solano. Germany 2 of 11, Dominican Republic 1 of 11. Solano got a touch on its way out of bounds.
Vargas just very lucky there. He was camped in the middle of the paint. 3-second violation. Lucky not to get called.
Only 3.3 remaining on the shot clock here as Solano looks to inbound. Vargas. Liz will get it away in time. Got a good look but missed it. And the foul on Rojas is Dominican Republic's first of the third quarter, but his 3rd personal.
I like the energy, I like the effort, but really that was unnecessary. A wild swing at the ball, try and hit that one away in that rebounding contest. Real low percentage play.
Zipser, the only other player in the game who has 3 fouls to his name. Tice up against Vargas, the 2 centres locking horns, going toe-to-toe, and Tice comes out on top.
We saw this in the first 5 minutes. Tice went to work. They exploit that mismatch. Vargas got all sorts of problems trying to match up on Tice.
Baez fakes the 3, drives inside instead. Couldn't find Vargas. Schroeder comes away with it and a foul. He asked for the unsportsmanlike and he receives it.
It is. That's a clear cut. You're not allowed to do that. Not in the right defensive position. A wild swing at the ball just to commit the foul to stop the play. Just a grab, just a silly play. Because not only now do you send the free throw to go down the other end for a couple of free throws, you get the ball back. So it's a significant penalty. I really like the rule. For years, particularly in Europe, and even now you see it in the NBA, just slow the game down. And I can't see why the NBA doesn't see what FIBA have done and what happens throughout the world and how that you make that changes to eliminate it, because we want to see excitement. We want to see the transition baskets, the dunks. That's the beauty of this great game, and it's being limited because of intentional fouls in the backcourt. Not in FIBA though.
Now, the rule is that you have to make a legitimate attempt to play the ball.
And you've also got to be, not just that, you've got to be in a sound defensive position. That's also a critical factor. You can't just legitimately swipe at it from behind either.
Speaking of swiping from behind, Baez got it back, but gave it straight back to Germany. Schroeder misses. And that's a foul. Is it on Tice? A couple of players crashing off the court. First it was Baez on this near side, and then it was Solano on the baseline.
Just see the nerves creeping in. Schroeder and Kleber off screen having, well, an interesting conversation with each other.
Into the paint, attacking the glass, and that one halfway down from Vargas, knocked away off the top of the rim. Third time lucky perhaps for Dominican Republic. Liz fakes the pass against the backboard. Vargas putting his body on the line. Down on the deck in a heap, and the referees will stop it.
Love the hustle. That type of play when you see your big fella get down, and here's that little tip in. Vargas got to do a better job. He's got to make that. Good position, easiest of two, and goes away. But when you see Vargas just on the ground, you love it when you see the big fellas get down and dirty, diving on loose balls, and may have won another possession. Now, the referees have gone to the review, and this is on the basis that Kleber came in late, or they're trying to check the time.
When I said stop, stop, okay, go. Stop, 6 seconds. Go
right.
Now. Go. 6:21. Go now. Go. 21 seconds. So she has 6. Because you 6 less 21, so 15 less 21. Yeah, 6 seconds, 24 seconds violation. We go on violation because we have 6 seconds, 21, 6:21. Okay, come back.
Right.
Come back. Quicker. Okay, go now. Go. Wait, 6 seconds, 21. Go now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have called now violation, 24 seconds.
Oh, I'm not sure his maths added up. Gee, I thought they called the jump ball with still a second or maybe a second and a half to go. I guess it's your interpretation of when the whistle was blown, but they've deemed that it's a 24-second violation because that ball never hit the rim. But to me, they might have just quick count that.
Well, the whistle, by definition, will come slightly after the incident. Fine margins. And very harsh on Dominican Republic, especially after that big hustle play from Eloy Vargas. Germany by 4 and with the ball. Schroeder. Back out to Kleber. Kleber looking to find Tice inside. Couldn't handle it first time. Grabbed it at the second attempt. Open 3-point shot off the broken play, but it's off the mark. The poor shooting from long range continues.
It does. And Zipster this time you see here reaching over. Similar to what we saw down the other end, just a slap at the ball. Great effort and energy. You like to see the hustle, but Zipster checks out of the game now and Benzing comes back in.
How do you explain this? 46% Germany, 42% Dominican Republic. Long range shooting in game 1, 17% and 9% today.
You can't necessarily say the defense has been any much greater.
Oh, Liz, aggressive play down the lane, taking it strong to the hole. 14 for him, 2 points the gap.
Those 3-point numbers, you never underestimate what goes on in a player's head. And a lot of it, the technique's the same. You might be just as open, but the moment, the occasion, the urgency of this game, the do-or-die situation changes the mentality. Unusual to see it consistently across the board with all players.
Germany are 2 of 12, Dominican Republic are 1 of 11. And if everything else remains the same, it may just come down to who can knock down just a couple of threes. Schroeder. Screen from Tice on the perimeter. Schroeder looking back to his big man. Instead, Bartel swung to the corner. Nice ball movement from Germany. Akpinar can't hit the 3, though. And there's contact inside.
For the second time, Akpinar wide open. Wide open. And they're the shots you need to make.
It's 4 fouls on Dominican Republic before the midway point of the third quarter. 3 on Germany. Schroeder into Benzing, the captain. Schroeder's going to put up the three-pointer this time. Another miss. Vargas the rebound. That's 2 of 14. The last one's not added to that stat at the bottom of your picture. Mendoza. Dominican Republic down by 2 as they were at the half. Step back three-pointer Monteiro. No.
1 of 12. The numbers keep adding up.
Tice. He's going to go again for 3. An air ball this time. It's getting worse.
Well, he's just missed 2 wide open ones. Again, a critical stage of the game, and he has a semi-forced one. Very little doubt about that.
The foul called on Akpinar as Liz looked to attack.
Yeah, Akpinar just didn't get across. Never a chance. Most teams are trying to take away that middle penetration, just wasn't there quick enough. And Liz, that's his trademark, his ability to get to the rim, finish around the basket.
4 fouls for both teams now. Germany, one of the best offensive teams in qualifying. And here we have a 4-4 third quarter.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty, but reflective of the circumstance, the urgency of the game, what's at stake, and a few steel elbows out there dealing with the pressure.
Many of these German players deal with pressure at the top level for their clubs, but from an international perspective, Robin Benzing, the captain, the only player who's played at a World Cup before. Mendoza to the corner, Liz doesn't think twice about the 3 as he nails his second, just the second for Dominican Republic as a team.
Double fist pump by Coach Garcia too. He understands and trying to generate some emotion into this one as well.
Bartel backing into Pena, turns to face the basket and scores.
Between him and Tice down low, they've been incredibly efficient. And why you wouldn't just milk that every single time until Dominican Republic tries something different is beyond me, because they've been so effective down on that low block.
Mendoza, and this time it's Dagoberto Pena. Back-to-back threes for Dominican Republic. Back in business from long range.
Range at pause. And he said whoever could start lighting it up from the three-point line was going to have the advantage. Good head fake.
Dagoberto Pena, who played less than 3 minutes in game 1. He's only been on the floor for 2 minutes in this one. Thrown in by Coach Garcia, and he said, if you can't do it, I will.
Well, that's right, and Coach Garcia's already used 11 of his available 12 players, and that's unusual. We see, usually it's an 8.5 type rotation, but in this tournament play, and in particular the way in which the Dominican Republic want to play, he needs to get the guys in and out, give them quick rest so they can play at that high energy levels.
And get this, what did Dagoberto Pena do from downtown in qualifying? 16%.
Wow.
Dominican Republic, after missing 10 of their first 11, have hit their last 2. Liz on the inside this time, called for a travel and turns it over. 13 minutes remaining, neck and neck.
A lot of feeling in this one as well. Referee wants to have a talk to the captains. Yeah, just clearly the travel. And just with a lot of talking going, a lot of trash talking, it can escalate. So I think it's a good move. Just bring the leaders together, let them know the rules. Just explain you're not going to tolerate any of that stuff. Get on with playing basketball.
47-47, 3 minutes and change remaining in the third quarter. Here's Schroeder. And there's a foul underneath on Pena. It's going to be free throws.
Off the ball foul, just trying to fight through the screen. A little cross screen on the baseline and tried to push his way through it. He doesn't like the call.
Benzing at the line averaged 18.3 points per game across 8 qualifiers. Only shot 3 of 10 from the field against France for 8 points. He's 0 of 2 here from the field, but make it now 4 of 4 from the foul line.
Taking his skills to Zaragoza next season.
Monteiro. Mendoza. Now Pena. Pena has come in and looked to play strong. He misses that one. Offensive rebound, hanging in the air, but missing was Roberts. Oh, fist down the floor, but Bartel lost it momentarily. They'll have to play in the half court.
Falkman with the quarterback-like pass, thought he was in the NFL.
Schroeder kicks it to the corner, around the perimeter, low through a gap, back towards Schroeder, open mid-range, knocks it down. Just 17 for the number 17.
Just can't get over the hump, Dominican Republic. Every time they even it up, get within range, they have some opportunities. And every time, Germany comes back with the answer.
Liz misses that one after hitting a couple from the outside. Germany by 4. Schroeder shakes off the defense, keeps hold of it just about. Bartel running interference. Schroeder running into trouble, and a foul.
Just a hint of a push-off early on that play by Schroeder. And he's doing it right now when the team's in the bonus. Just attack, attack, attack. There you see the foul with the reach in. And this is the play before low. Every time it's coming off the penetration. The amount of points that are coming from that middle penetration, coming off the, getting into the paint and then finding that extra pass. Now the answer to that, of course, is pretty simple. Stop the penetration, but it's a lot harder than that when you've got these amazing athletes out there that can super quick and so skilled with operating off the bounce.
Germany were 81% from the line before that miss. It was Schroeder's first miss of the game. That one will count. So Schroeder's 7 of 8 from the stripe.
Can't go up through the rim. Once it hits the rim, it's live, but can't go through the rim.
5 points the German lead. Schroeder to the bench for a rest. Can't imagine it will be too long. Germany in a spot of bother here in the first round of the 2019 FIBA World Cup. They have to win this ball game. Solano. Solano, another beauty, and a rim rocker from Roberts.
Great athleticism by Roberts, but what a beautiful pass. A little hook pass by Solano. He's up to 8 assists.
Here's Giffey inside. Contested shot. Having to try and contort his body to face the rim. Dominican Republic back within 3. Looking to get even closer, maybe even tie here. Monteiro moves it on. Roberts up against Footman. Bounce pass into the lane. Kick to the corner around the outside. Mendoza. Who's going to take the shot? 3-pointer for the tie. Wouldn't go.
Solano just read it. Great hands. Falkman just too sloppy with the ball. Another turnover there. You see it. You see Solano beautifully read. And then there's the foul. Now, is that unsportsmanlike? Because it's clearly had a good opportunity for a cheap basket. So the officials have gone to the bench to review and see if that is worthy of unsportsmanlike and in transition.
Let's see another camera. Yeah, just good. See, get camera 1. Go. Okay, come back. Okay. Come back, okay. Go forward, please. Go forward. No, we cannot see that.
This is going to be interesting.
You should see it from the back. You should see it from the back. Go. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Go back, please. Go back. No, forward now. Go. When we said stop. It's from the...
Yeah, first line he got the rib.
Sorry?
I exchanged UF, he got the rib, non-intention. He don't even look where it's the ball. He just look, that's unsportsmanlike.
Of course it is.
You agree?
Absolutely it is.
You just get the rib.
The player looks right from the forward.
Okay, UF, white 7.
Sorry?
You agree?
Okay, go. We go unsportsmanlike foul. Go. White 7, agree. The shooter is 24. He went to 9, 26. Okay, I will check. I will check the time.
Plenty of pressure on the players, of course, down the stretch here. Plenty of pressure on the officials as well to get the right calls.
And it's a simple one based on the rules. He's coming from the side as well, so it has to be an unsportsman. He's not in a fundamentally sound defensive position. He stops the transition. He reaches out. He's got no intention for the ball. That's a very easy one, and the right call is made. Now, whether or not you agree that should be part of the game, that's another thing, but according to the rules, that is a fundamentally sound decision.
The unsportsmanlike called against Voetman, who had 25 points against France. He's got just 2 here today. He's only taken 2 shots.
That's the key. That's what I was about to say. They've done a really good job. They've gone through the scouting report, taken away the open 3 ball, which he got against France, and they've done a great job.
Foul shots and possession for Dominican Republic, although Solano misses the first. Desperate for each and every point now to try and close this slender gap on Germany and to keep the heat on. It was a big second one because as a team they were only 6 of 10 before that from the stripe. Now they have the ball. There was a big roar from those Dominican fans. Many of the families of the players are in attendance here. When they got the call for unsportsmanlike, a huge cheer went up on the far side behind the German bench. Here's Solano all the way through! Galvis Solano getting highlight reel high!
That is explosive, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing. There must have been a switch. He gets the mismatch and takes advantage of it.
What a way to tie the score, 52-52 towards the end of the third quarter. Bartel intercepted, Solano is there. And Solano will be feeling it right now, but he does well, uses his experience to slow it down. And the shot clock turned off at the end of the quarter. Solano jinking and jiving and looking for teammates. 3-point shot. Monteiro will go to beat the buzzer. Another huge blow delivered to the chin of Germany from Dominican Republic.
Wow, have a look at this. You see that the kick out wide open, knocks it down, and Coach Rudel had some decisions to make. He had mismatches on the floor that he couldn't cover, and the penetration again, the penetration in the dish, you have to help because they can get by their man. He kicks it out and he's good enough to knock it down. So finally we see Dominican Republic are the ones that start to knock down the 3 ball, and as such they get their 3-point advantage at the 3-quarter time break.
At the end of 3, Germany 52, Dominican Republic 55 in this must-win game for Germany.
Saw the stats on the screen there, and this has just been a great quarter of basketball for the Dominican Republic. There was times it just sensed that Germany were just edging ahead, and then just with the stroke of a couple of 3-point field goals that gets knocked down Liss got a little going with a corner three. Down the other end, Tice has had, and the bigs, have had a big advantage down low. And this man here, Liss, creating off the bounce, finding others, the frustration of Tice. And Bartel was the other one. Any of the German players, when they've got that isolation down the block, have been very, very efficient.
And we talk so much through the game and at the start of the game about the ability of both of these teams to knock down the three-point shot and the significance of that here today. And it was almost a case of commentators' curse because nobody was hitting. 1 of 11 to start for Dominican Republic, but 3 of their last 6, and it's made all the difference.
It has. Germany on the flip side of that, 2 of 15. Clearly Germany have gone in this game with the game strategy of pounding it inside, but here's Solano coming down the middle and just stuffing it in. Needs a little help. If whoever's guarding the screener, we've been crawling out for that. If you're a guard and you're trying to fight over those screens and you get no help, it's very, very tough.
And that was just his second score from the field, Solano, but he's dished 9 assists. And here he is again. And what a score it was. The play of the game so far. Baez for 3. Open. Hits it. And now they can't miss from long range.
Well, if Germany had the worry beads out at half-time, they're well and truly completely out right now because this is starting to get to the urgent stage.
And they turn it over as well. The nerves getting to Germany once more, down by 6. Solano keeping his cool again and drawing the contact. Foul on low. There's a long time to go here. It's only a 6-point deficit, but the wind is in the sails of the Caribbeans.
And there a couple of really costly turnovers in the last 3 or 4 minutes by Falkman. He sits out. Tice comes back in.
Solano. Roberts will move it on to Mendoza. Mendoza puts up the long 2 this time, and it's too long. Schroeder, huge responsibility on his shoulders now, and he misses the layup. Wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Solano is not slowing down for him. Back out, open 3. They pass back to the baseline and get inside for the easy 2. Quick fire, 5 points from Baez, the 37-year-old veteran.
And what about the decision-making of Mendoza? Down low, they close out hard. He knows they've got the advantage and the easiest of 2. Coach Rudel now got some big decisions to make. Wide open. Baez, he's been very good, very consistent throughout the course of the game.
Look what it means to the Dominicans as Germany call timeout.
Now's the time that your superstars have to step up. For Germany, it's Dennis Schroeder, that man on your screen. But you've got to be careful to say, well, how you do it. It's not just that you have to do it, it's also how you're going to do it. Coming down like that last possession with a no-pass offense and just trying to score in the paint is not going to get it done. You see the way that Dominican Republic are doing it, a bit of balance with their getting ball from side to side, man and ball movement, and then they get to the rim. That has been much more effective.
Schroeder had 5 assists in the first half. He's not had a single one yet in the second. Benzing across to low. Here's Tice, who struggled in the second as well, backing in, volleying his way to the basket past Monteiro. The foul was on the floor.
Given the success that they've had with this, the Dominican Republic, a little surprised that they haven't sent doubles. See, everyone stays at home. It's only when he gets 2 feet into the charge circle does the next man come in to help. That's way too late. Well, it certainly has been tonight. Germany doing a really good job on that low box.
Tice in the high post, hands it off to Schroeder. Up against Solano. Bartel allowing Schroeder to get a bit of breathing room, not for long. Schroeder left-hand dribble drive, back out low. Catches out to the right, puts up the three and puts it in. Just what Germany needed.
My word.
10 points for Mo Low. And that was just Germany's third three on their 16th attempt.
It is, and now they've got to do their work down the other end of the floor. When you're looking at it and you're looking for those indicators of your defense, no doubt about that foul on Low. You look down and see the field goal percentage for the Dominican Republic starting to, it's a healthy 45% from the field. It's not too bad. That's
Schroeder does conjure his first assist of the second half. And then they get a steal as well. Low to Schroeder, looking for the trail. It comes from Tice, but they didn't orchestrate it effectively. But what an effort from Mendoza to get back.
It is. Schroeder not happy with Tice, but not a lot more, much more Tice could have done. He had the jets on, was trying to get down there for the easy two, and a little deflection got away from him.
Still Germany ball. Schroeder inbounding to Low. Back to Bartel. And Schroeder to run the offense. Step back. Maybe thought about the three. Looked to feed it inside to Bartel. And the foul again was before the basket.
Smart play by Schroeder there. They had the on ball. They had the switch. They'd mismatched down low. And just the patience and the entry pass. Good stuff.
Solano on a couple of fouls is going to go to the bench.
Well, he's only going to get, sorry, Tim, but he's only going to get a real quick breather. He's created havoc out there tonight, and they're going to need his instinctive penetration.
Schroeder high to Tice, who takes off on the runway.
Again, Schroeder. We said how you need your superstars to step up. In the last three possessions, Schroeder has done that with some great passing and down the other end of the floor with some good defense as well. But that is just on a platter for the big fella. Great work, great athleticism by Tice, but precision passing by Schroeder.
It's 12 points for Tice now, 7 assists for Schroeder. 2 in the space of about a minute. Baez. Mendoza, Germany closing an 8-point gap down to 3. Liz turns it over. That German timeout has made all the difference.
That's the difference between your guard at one end and as opposed to the other. Good play, but Liz has to put that right near the rim.
Such a contrast of emotions from just a couple of minutes ago.
I prefer Liz shoot that one.
Oh, Schroeder got rejected against the backboard by Mendoza. And a foul as Tice picked up the loose ball.
How's the desperation by Mendoza? Look at this. Great athleticism.
Mendoza, a man who played in all 12 qualifiers for Dominican Republic, averaged 10.7 points, 3.4 boards, a couple of steals a game, showing his defensive prowess again there with the block. 4th foul called on Monteiro in the aftermath of that. Low fizzes into the low post. Yeah. And that's going to be a goaltend as it's batted away beyond the baseline by Roberts.
It is. And beautifully executed underneath out of bounds play, the little cross screen. Roberts comes for the help, and no doubt about that being, well, there is a little bit of doubt, but I think eventually it is the right call. That ball's on its downward flight towards the rim.
There's no doubt about the defensive effort from Dominican Republic. Can they see it over the line? An 8-point lead has turned into just 1. They could do with a score here. Mendoza. Mendoza going through the gears, moving it around to the corner. Baez will shoot the 3 right at the end of the shot clock. And Germany looking to take the lead again.
Blocking foul being called on Baez. Here we see Schroeder. He wants to come out early because he knows Schroeder's pace and just doesn't quite get there. A half a step behind, he takes away that sideline and he has a chance to be in a better legal defensive position and offer the appropriate level of help.
6.5 minutes to play on game day 2 of the 2019 FIBA World Cup here in Shenzhen in Group G. The future of these two nations in this tournament is hanging in the balance. Tice inside for Bartle, away by Solano.
Again, good recognition of the switch. Bartle down low. Solano trying to guard him. And good enough to get the deflection, but nice recognition by Germany.
Schroeder with the deep inbound pass to Tice. Benzing. Schroeder in the corner, shot clock's down to the final couple of seconds here. Schroeder, he's quick to operate and he gets it away in time, but off one leg and off balance and couldn't get it to go. Dominican Republic hanging on for now with their lead just about intact. Liz. There's Rojas for three. No. Offensive rebound. Vargas into Liz. Throws it back out. Low there to tip it. Not once but twice and to get away from the defense. We'll slow it down though.
Full credit to Germany. The last 3 minutes since that timeout, their defense is really getting it done.
And there's 5 fouls on Dominican Republic here in the fourth. So Germany will go to the line to try and take the lead. It's the third personal on Solano, who's got 10 assists in the game. 3 steals as well. Nervy times for Coach Rudel and for everybody in support of Germany.
Done a good job from the free throw line, 15 of 18. 5 of 5 for Benzing in this one. All his points coming from the free throw line.
And he adds one more to that tally. Germany shooting 84% from the stripe. Dominican Republic just 64. In such a tight game, and fine margins, that could prove pivotal. Liz on the move, it doesn't come to him. Instead, back out to Solano. Vargas looking to run interference for him. Solano clings onto it. Vargas moves into the center. Liz back onto the outside. Shot clock winding down again. He's off balance. Wild shot and a violation.
Another great defensive set by Germany.
Schroeder to Bartle for three. No. And now Dominican Republic looking to keep the pace quick. And a pocket pick from the big man Tice. And a foul against Dominican Republic.
Vargas just falling on Schroeder, and that's going to be double as expensive because it's going to send Schroeder to the line to shoot a couple.
We've got a timeout just over the midway point of the final quarter, just a 1-point ball game. Germany 61, Dominican Republic 60.
It's going to be interesting whether they say that is whether they've lost control of the ball and if it's an offensive foul or a... Just a minute. Apologies for some of that language to the coach, but as you can imagine, it's a very, very emotional time and critical time. And Germany just really cranking it up on the defensive end. We've played 5 minutes and 15 seconds in this last quarter. They've been able to hold the Dominican Republic to only 5 points in the quarter.
Dominican Republic haven't scored in about 4 minutes now. Germany coming from 8 down to lead.
it's also going to hurt them as far as what they've got to do on the defensive end. That is the Dominican Republic, because, again, Schroeder walks the length of the floor and goes to the line for a couple of freebies. And when baskets are hard to come by in a low-scoring affair, these are the ones that, the cheap baskets, are the ones you've got to try and not give your opponent.
Schroeder misses, having been 7 of 8 from the line before that. Averaged a tournament's second best, 23.7 points per game at Eurobasket a couple of years ago. Led Germany to the quarterfinals. Still far too close for comfort for Coach Rudel. Germany by 2. It's a 10-0 run since Rudel's timeout. Here's Vargas through the lane. Can he use the backboard? He does, as he hangs in the air and gets his geometry spot on.
Big fella putting the ball to the deck, getting to the basket. Nice move by Vargas.
Nothing to separate these two over the first 36 minutes. Tice for 3, no. That was Dominican Republic's first score for 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Getting Tice wide open from the three-point line, and he lets it fly. He's 0 for 4 now. And that's the sort of shot I think Dominican Republic are happy to see him let it fly from the three-point line. Now, he can make them, but just not on tonight.
Vargas giving him something to think about on the other end, and a foul called on Tice. That's his third.
I don't understand with that play, like with Tice and spraying up another three-pointer. He's wide open. The success that he's had on the box, every single time he's got it down low, he's been really, really high percentage. So you just question why Germany don't go to that a little bit more. Heat of the moment, decision making, sometimes you lose that focus.
Oh, it goes off the hop. There was a whistle.
The shot's got to count. You make a free throw. Count the basket. Foul's going to be on Rojas. Let's have a look. Just the forearm into the back, the pushing foul. Bartle putting a lot of mayo on the fact that he got pushed in the back.
So the foul shot does count. Dominican Republic by 2.
For some reason, we're going to the review again.
It looks as though Germany are at the foul line.
They're just trying to figure out who I think actually got fouled, maybe. Well, they asked, but if you sometimes just got to back your judgment. If you so many stops, starts, a great initiative the way in which we go to the review, but I still think there needs to be some tweaking on the time that it takes and the amount of times that we go for it there to check what the officials have observed.
Bartle misses his first foul shot of the game. It's the second 1 point separating these two with just over 3.5 minutes to play. A game that Germany simply have to win. Baez. Here's Solano. Liz on the move, looked to the basket, instead took it inside. Solano back out on the perimeter, shot clock down to the final 5 seconds. Solano, crossover, pull-up, 3, nails it! Galvez Solano has been superb.
Screen was coming from the right, you got to send him to the help. Schroeder now with a quick one.
And the floater falls short, and here comes Liz. Dominican Republic finding their second win now. Might even be their third or their fourth win. This game has swung one way and then the other so many times. Vargas inside, flips it up and in. Dominican Republic up by 6 points with less than 3 minutes to play, and Germany's second round hopes are on the line.
There's the help coming. We've been crying out that for the whole time. Solano has been really good, but this is where your team defense comes in. Third man rotation. Solano's killing you off the drive, so you need to have the help. But if the big doesn't get his help, easy baskets like that, because Solano is so good at finding the open man.
Germany haven't solved the problems on defense. That's what was happening right at the start. Before the foul trouble for Vargas, he was getting in far too easily on the interior. He's 7 of 10 from the field now for 16 points.
Solano, the last couple, he did it with the 3-ball and just questioned some of the decision making. We complimented Germany on the defense in that first 5.5 minutes, but the last couple of possessions, the middle on-ball screen, and that's what Dominican Republic do. They go through their motion, they look for their options, but most of it ends in that middle on-ball screen. And not sending Solano to the screen where the help potentially could be was costly. And then when you do help, not getting the rotation is costly as well.
What a playmaking performance it's been from Galvis Solano. That was his 11th assist of the game. Schroeder trying to get past Solano, and the whistle was before the shot.
And that's the problem, the Dominican Republic. We mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. Now every single foul sends Germany to the line, and not only does it do that, it stops the clock.
It's the 4th foul on Solano, who is absolutely crucial to Dominican Republic's hopes.
This is going to test the nerve of Germany, that's for sure.
We've talked a lot about those nerves through the course of these first 2 games. After the nervy start to the tournament against France, where they didn't score for the first 7.5 minutes of the game. It's another 20-point night for Dennis Schroeder. Although just 5 of 17 from the field, and he misses his 3rd foul shot, 9 of 12 from the line. Solano remains in the game on those 4 fouls, of course, with limited time remaining. Liz, high catch in the corner. Liz will attack into the lane, falling away, missed the rim. And the shot clock still ticking, it will be a violation. Here goes Schroeder through the gears, turning on the afterburners as well. Zips her inside, he misses it, right on top of the rim.
That's inexcusable at this level. And what's at stake? Zips are missing an absolute bunny. Coming down, a little bit of pressure there, but you've got to be able to put that in. And then not a lot of contact on the arm. They've called the foul, but
a break for Germany as Bartel gets to the line.
Yeah, not a lot of contact on that one, but Bartel just got the rebound going up. So perhaps a bit of a break for Germany.
Now, we originally saw a 4th foul on Vargas. Instead, it's a 5th on Rojas, so he is out. Vargas remains on 3. Montero and Solano on 4 for Dominican Republic. And their lead is 4 for now. Bartel makes them both.
Huge offensive possessions. Well, they're all going to be huge, but this one here for the Dominican Republic.
Two minutes and change remaining. Dominican Republic by 3. The winner of this one likely to be the team that goes to the second round. Solano, shot clock to 5. A long way from the basket. Solano can't find any room, wasn't aware of the clock, and another shot clock violation.
Give credit to Germany, for coming up with a stop, shot clock violation, need to be aware of what's going on. But that was a time where it was motion for the sake of motion. They had a lot of cutting, a lot of down screens. Didn't get to the point and the destination as quick as they need to. Need to just get to Solano, a little middle on ball, and get some heat on the rim.
And Solano has gone out at the moment on those 4 fouls.
That's a surprise.
Schroeder. Here's Zipser looking to meander his way past Vargas, who is finally called for his 4th foul.
Well, they're getting there via the free throw line. Zipser going to the line now. Tried to get out of the way. Was in a bad defensive position. Needed to slide his feet.
Ronald Roberts comes in for Vargas, who goes to the bench on 4 fouls as well.
Well, in fact,
.98 seconds left. 98 seconds that could define the World Cup campaigns of both Germany and Dominican Republic.
And the career of some coaches.
Potentially one of the stories of the 2019 FIBA World Cup is developing here in Shenzhen. Germany far from done and dusted. They get back within 1 from the stripe, where they're shooting 23 of 29 for close to 80%. Here's Roberts, Baez, Mendoza, Solano, who's back in the game now on those 4 fouls, shot clock winding down. Squeeze through a gap, just about found Mendoza. Is there time for Roberts? Oh, he got fouled with 0.2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Time they manage the clock. And there's the help coming from Tice. And that's a good foul. Make him earn it to the line. He was beating all ends up. There was no rotation. So prevent the easy 2. Put Roberts to the line to shoot a couple.
Ronald Roberts with some clutch free throws here as he hits the first. Misses the second. 2-point ball game. We're approaching the final minute. Schroeder high to Tice, couldn't squeeze it in on his way down to the deck. Here's Liz, still full of energy. Monteiro passed up the opportunity to shoot an open 3, and they will take their time instead with a 2-point lead. Ball in the hands of Mendoza. And they keep running that shot clock down. Liz, little jab step, puts it up over the top of the defense. Wouldn't go, it was so close. That could be it, that moment. Schroeder driving in, wild. It's still Germany ball though.
I think that one's going to have to be reviewed. Liz with the in and out, how close it is. Misses, and down the other end, Schroeder gets to the rim. Ooh. Did that come off Mendoza? They're going to review it. I think it did. On the first glance.
Checking last touch. Out of bounds. Okay, go. Slowly. Go now. Go. Wait. Stop. Go.
Yep.
Another camera. This one actually.
If it hasn't hit Schroeder's leg, I think it's.
Go. Wait. Go.
Still in his hand there.
No, under the camera. This one. Yeah. Go now. This one, we go now.
from the top angle, it might look like it's the other way, but from the bottom angle,
Let go of the blue.
yeah.
Come back.
Make this finger.
Go now. Come back. Go. Go. White ball touch the white.
Did it?
No. Blue hands over there. Blue hands over there. Look. Go light. Yeah.
I don't.
Go down below. Go back.
You can't tell from that angle straight on though.
Friend by friend.
Oh, did it?
Look now, go now. Yeah, it's changed.
No.
Blue ball.
I don't think that's conclusive.
Listen to the cheer.
Wow.
The Dominican fans and family members were roaring on the decision in their favour from right behind the scorer's table, and they got it.
Did you think that was categorically clear
Not for
evidence?
me, no, not for me.
Wow.
31 seconds remaining. Dominican Republic have possession and a 2-point lead over Germany. 31 seconds away from knocking the Germans out of the World Cup. This is only the third appearance of the tournament for Dominican Republic. Solano taking his time again. Oh, no look pass to Baez. Wouldn't go down. Big rebound for Bartel. Schroeder, time winding down, 5 seconds. Schroeder on the burst to the basket. Passing lane disrupted. Bartel puts it up and misses it. Incredible scenes in Shenzhen. Dominican Republic, on just their third ever appearance at the World Cup, have knocked out the 1993 European champions Germany.
They only fell into this tournament as well, and now they're going to the promised land, and their tournament will continue, and good on them.
They only just made it here. They lost their final qualifier to Brazil to finish with a 7-5 record, but they edged out Uruguay to finish as the best fourth-place team from the two Americas qualifying groups. They have gone 2-0 over the first 2 game days of the World Cup. Nestor Che Garcia, who only took over for this tournament, has done what seemed to be mission impossible by downing one of the big European powers.
And there are tears in the eyes of many of the Dominican Republic players. You take a look at the top scorers. Schroeder battled in a very low shooting field goal percentage for him. And he tried to take charge of the game, tried to get others involved, but just couldn't find the answers. But that man there, Coach Garcia, just an incredible coaching performance by him as well. Tempo, shot selection, they able to weather the difficulties they were having from the three-point line. And as we said at halftime, if they were able to start knocking down the three ball, they would get an advantage. And the numbers aren't pretty, but they made enough. 6 of 22 from the three-point line, but got them when they needed them.
The German superstars, Schroeder, Thijs, Kleber, Voetman, they are done at this World Cup in terms of trying to make it through to the second round. They came here with the goal of winning a medal. They will go home after just a few games, or at least fall into the qualifying games as they look to try and battle back to at least get a place in one of the Olympic qualification tournaments. They led by as many as 9 points in this one. Dominican Republic, though, showed incredible fight, incredible character, and incredible quality to come back and to win their second game in the space of 3 days in a group that contained Germany and France. They are one of the 2 teams that will go to the second round.
And for all the brilliance of Dennis Schroeder, he was 5 of 18, but just their system alone, Germany putting a lot of faith in him, and I don't think they got the best out of a very talented lineup with the ball being in his hands as much as it was. As great as he is, and that's not an insult to him at all, but I think they'll look back on this and they had many more weapons that they could have used, but just weren't exploiting their talent, got nervous, they only shot it at 37%. So that's not going to get it done against a team that I think controlled the tempo, got quality shots, and Solano with the 11 assists, only had the 8 points, but he was outstanding in getting his team involved. Some real poor defensive decisions as well. They never really solved the middle on-ball problem that the Dominican Republic was presenting, and as such, they got too many cheap baskets, shot it at 44%, and come away with a historic win.
The Dominican Republic balanced offense that we talked about from game 1 was at it again. 17 points for Liz, 16 for Vargas, 10 for Roberts. They had 9 from Baez, 8 from Solano, 7 from Monteiro. So many getting involved. They've played as a real team here, and you can see what it means to them to knock Germany out of the 2019 FIBA World Cup.
Well, they've knocked out a team that is a legitimate medal contender. You see the disappointment, Tyson, the agony of defeat and the victory of winning. And they didn't get lucky. They earned this win. They had a great game plan, did a terrific job on the defensive end, and look at the standings. Who would have thought?
Top of the group and through. Dominican Republic, France against Jordan comes later on. A win for France would see them through as well, but Germany are out. One of the stories of the 2019 FIBA World Cup so far.
Okay now, okay.